Are you trying to think of something to sing?
No, I'm trying to get in tune. I'm trying to find the music.
Within yourself?
You ready? I can't do it. And you know what I'm trying to do? I literally can't do it.
Yeah, I know.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it.
I know what you're trying to do.
I can't. I am incapable. I'm trying to hum the Teen Wolf theme, and I'm so like incapable and tone deaf. It's sad, and
It's a hard one to do.
No, yeah, it's like. So I always kind of do this whenever.
There's no like. It's not like.
It starts like this, right?
Yeah,
it's not like Game of Thrones where it's like.
Yeah, it's just like a.
It goes. I literally. It's just like it's sick.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We are an unusual couple, you know.
Anyway, that was random and funny. Nice little way to start, but
Most twerkable theme song.
arguably. For those who don't know what we're talking about, I recently started Teen Wolf finally. I'm approaching the mid-season finale. Hopefully by tomorrow I'm on that.
Of season 3.
Of season 3. The mid-season finale of season 3.
Mid-season finale of 3A, if you will.
Yeah, that's right. So
He's halfway through 3A, so a fourth of the way through the season.
And the last time we spoke, I don't even know where I was. I think I was somewhere in season 2.
I think you were halfway through season 2.
Okay, yeah. So it's been
And also last time
a
we
month.
spoke.
No, I'm kidding.
Also last time we spoke, you had some thoughts on a certain character that might have changed by now.
This is true.
Would you like to share with the class?
I like
Wait.
it. For people who are like listening, they're like,
For
what just happened?
Audio listeners, I was just adjusting the photo of me and Daniel Sharman in the background of the setup. Continue.
Yeah. So Isaac Leahy definitely went up in my ranking.
Yeah.
By the way, if you're worried about this being a Teen Wolf-centric episode, don't click away. We're just talking about it real quick.
Teen Wolf update.
Yeah, Teen Wolf Update is what it'll be called. I like Isaac a lot. I see why you like him now.
He's so funny.
Season 2 Isaac, fine. Season 3 Isaac, much better.
I love him.
Much better in Season 3.
I love him.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's got the charisma. He's handsome.
Yeah.
So I see it, the appeal.
Tell him, Chris. For any of you that know Teen Wolf at all, for like probably the 2% of you that do.
One, maybe.
Season 3, episode 4, Isaac is wearing his iconic cardigan, and he walked in, and Chris went, Isaac's slaying the outfit. And I said, yes, he is.
He was.
Chris gets it.
I can't lie, he was.
Chris got the cardigan hype.
He was. So, Season 3, it's to me, each season's gotten better so far. Season 1 was still really good. Season 2 was an improvement. Season 3 so far, probably the best.
Yeah.
So,
and you haven't even gotten to the best part of Season 3.
Lots to look forward to. 24 episodes. We have 18 left. I'm hoping to finish Season 3 by the end of this week. And keep on keeping on with it. So really enjoying the show. Recommend to any of those who want to start a new show. Spooky season around the corner. It's a good one. It's got the fall vibes, especially seasons 1 and 2.
Yeah. We're going to watch some more tonight. Take a break around 9 for Ahsoka.
Oh my God, I'm excited for Ahsoka episode 5.
I'm nervous.
I'm excited. I don't expect like anything really crazy though. Like a lot, like I think a lot of people are overhyping it for some reason. Like it's gonna be good, but I don't expect it to be like anything. I don't know. People might be being excited for the wrong reasons.
I just hope. Can we talk about what happened in the last episode? Right.
Brief spoilers for Ahsoka.
If you haven't seen Ahsoka, there's no way you haven't seen what happened at the end of the last episode. If you just live on social media, like there's just no way. Star Wars posted about it today, so I think I'm fine to talk about it. Fine. I hope whatever they do to Hayden Christensen's face is better than what it was at the end of the last episode, because I've been seeing like side by sides of him and Kenobi versus him and Ahsoka, and I don't know if it was the lighting in Ahsoka or whatever, but he looks bad in Ahsoka in my mind. Like, I'm sorry.
To me,
maybe it's the hair, but
no, I think it's because to me at least, I could be wrong here. I don't think they tried to de-age him in Obi-Wan. I think they just had him look older.
I liked that.
And it looked fine.
Like we're watching a fictional show about a fictional universe. I can suspend my belief of reality and just pretend that I'm looking at a younger Hayden Christensen than I actually am.
I prefer that as opposed to making him look wonky.
I agree, and he looks wonky in Ahsoka. So if they're gonna put him in more of this upcoming episode, I'm gonna need them to figure it out.
Like
do better than whatever I was just looking at.
Yeah, I agree. Because even in a show you love, Better Call Saul, they bring back someone from Breaking Bad, but he's not digitally de-aged. He looks older, but it just works way better. Way better. So that's my pitch. Hopefully, if Hayden's in a full episode, they don't de-age him. Even the only thing like where they need to de-age is like Mark Hamill as Luke. But someone like Hayden doesn't look that.
No, he just has more like eye wrinkles.
Just put makeup on him. Practical. Don't make it CG.
You can
That's just my
you
thing.
can de-age him a smidge, but it doesn't have to be a whole de-aging. You know?
Correct.
Because that's Hayden Christensen standing there acting it, but it doesn't look like him because of what they've done to his face, and that messes with me. It's different when it was Mark Hamill because it was someone else's body.
Yeah.
And they put Mark Hamill's face on that person. But this is Hayden Christensen's body. He's already standing there. Like, why are we doing so much to him to make him not look like he's actually there?
Fair. Anyway, though, hopefully Ahsoka delivers. It's good so far, but we've said that about a handful of MCU Disney Plus shows or Disney Plus shows where they're good, and then they fall off a cliff in the back half. So this is kind of the one that I'm really hoping this can keep the wave up.
Is it 6 or 8 episodes?
8.
Okay. Wow, there's a lot of time left.
4 episodes left. No Thrawn yet. No Ezra yet. Lots to look forward to.
Do you think we'll get any Clone Wars flashbacks? Like Clone Wars armor?
I'm thinking tonight we see Kenobi. I think we see the trio because there were rumors a long time ago that Ewan was going to come back for Ahsoka, and we might see the trio in their Clone Wars.
That would be
here.
crazy.
That's what I want. We didn't get that in Kenobi.
People would lose their minds.
Oh, I would be very excited
for sure, but it would have to be a younger Ahsoka, so it wouldn't be Rosario Dawson.
I see. Honestly, with like makeup and stuff, like I honestly don't. I think you could do Rosario.
It would have to be someone else's body though, just because Ahsoka was so much younger.
Kind of like Steve Rogers in Captain America.
Yeah,
something like that. The first Captain America.
Yeah.
But speaking of just casts in film, not my best segue.
Not your best segue at all.
Moving on to
Deadpool 3.
Deadpool 3 casting news, because that is something that's been prominent in the news lately.
Yes,
you open Twitter, it seems like every other day there's a new little headline of, oh, this celebrity rumored to appear.
And that's
this
not going away.
Rumored to appear.
Not going away anytime soon, purely just because there's nothing else to talk about because of strikes.
Fact. Also, Sean Levy, the director of the film, is...
also known as Sean Levy.
Yeah, I called him Sean Levy for a long time, and then apparently it's Sean Levy, so I completely switched.
he needs to understand that Sean Levy sounds better than Sean Levy. I think he needs to accept that and just change his name.
I think the man can... I don't really care what the man does. He's a good director. He
Like
directed The Internship.
If my last name was pronounced Silas, I would let people call me Silas.
Fair.
Because it sounds way
Fair.
better.
I don't know if he cares, but I just started calling him Levy because I don't want people to be like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, whatever.
Because people do. People get offended by the littlest things, so... Respectfully, fuck them. Anyway, casting news. Sean Levy said today, I don't know if you saw this on Discussing Film, he said some are true, some are not.
Interesting.
So some of the big names that have been rumored to show up in Deadpool 3 recently, Daniel Radcliffe.
My king.
Our assumption is a Wolverine variant.
Shortest Wolverine there's ever been.
Kidpool, which everyone's saying has to be Walker Scobell.
If it's not,
and I could totally see
that's
that happening.
disgusting if it's not.
It would have to be.
I would walk out of the theater.
It would have to be. Another big one, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
That would be so cool. And honestly, if they're smart, they would leak a set picture of Taylor Swift on set, because we saw what the Eras Tour is doing. It broke like No Way Home and Endgame records at the box office. It's projected to have over 100 million domestic opening weekend. If they leak that she's in that movie, I think it does well. Now, she was in that Amsterdam movie that bombed, but that's different. Deadpool 3.
I don't even know what that is.
Exactly. Deadpool 3. Come on now. That would be huge.
She's also best friends with Ryan Reynolds.
She wore the real Deadpool
She's
suit.
tight
Halloween,
enough.
right?
She is tight enough with Ryan Reynolds that English?
Ryan Reynolds.
Sorry, I was going to say Deadpool, so I was thinking ahead. Taylor Swift is close enough friends with Ryan Reynolds that I think in 2018, would that make sense?
That's when the first Deadpool came out.
She wore the actual real.
Second.
She wore the actual real, whatever year it was. Taylor Swift wore the actual real Deadpool suit for Halloween.
Yeah.
So there's pictures of, just at a friend's house.
Just for shits.
Just.
I thought it was for Halloween. Was it?
Ryan Reynolds. It was for Halloween.
Okay, yeah.
And Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's daughter is the little child's voice that you hear in the beginning of Gorgeous. You know, the baby that goes, Gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
That's their kid. They're tight. They're like
It'd be a full circle moment to have her
It'd
in
be
the movie.
so easy for Ryan to be like, hey, Taylor, what are you doing?
I mean, in Free Guy, Krasinski, Chris Evans, and like The Rock all showed up in like very small capacity.
Yeah.
So Ryan Reynolds has that pull to get pretty much anyone he wants.
I would do
in this
anything
movie.
if Ryan Reynolds asked.
I mean, fair. I would too. And I'm not talking infer. It might involve the Deadpool suit anyway. Okay, so I would say of those three, the one I would want to see the most is probably Walker Scobell, just because.
You can't take my answer. Dick, pick another one.
No, we don't have. This isn't like I pick it, you pick it. Like
I know.
You have to agree, right?
Yes, I agree.
Just because how funny it would be if he was like quoting something from the other movies in the movie. That would be like a dream come true for that kid.
Fully agree.
Yeah.
It would be a dream come true for me personally.
And it's the Adam Project reunion.
I have been in love with the two of them ever since the Adam Project. Just like as a pair.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a video on TikTok that like I reposted, and it was Walker doing the opening monologue for Deadpool 2 in the car with Ryan, and I like reposted it, and I was like, my favorite father-son duo, not because they're father-son in the Adam Project. I just mean in real life, they're father and son to me personally.
Mm-hmm.
And a bunch of people were like, they're not father and son. What are you talking about? I'm like, you guys don't get it. You don't get it. Like, I get it. You don't understand.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand like that. What's the word I'm looking for? That set of linguistics, the language that not you use, but the Twitter and whatever you come from. Like, it took me a while to understand really your dialect, I guess I should say, regarding those things. Like, they're father and son. Literally, that is like incorrect. They're not, but that's not what you mean. So
I find myself getting in trouble with that a lot, where I'm saying
you'll just
something,
like say something on Twitter, and it's like,
and
I know what you mean, but
understands
no one,
what I
and
mean.
you can't really blame them. Like, you know.
Yeah, but I just
also
wish
not
they
everything
also
needs to be
wouldn't
taken literally.
They don't need to get so up in arms if they don't understand. Like, that's not my
Name
fault that
another
you
example.
don't get it.
Name another example.
Today actually, a phrase I've been saying recently, I think I've probably gotten it from Twitter, being like, "You're so ugly for that." Like, you say something gross. Like, if you say you hate Sabrina Carpenter, I'd be like,
I hate Sabrina Carpenter.
I'd be like, "You're so ugly for that." It's a saying. I was talking to my sister. She told me that I looked better with blonde hair. I was like, because I saw my grandma today. My grandma was also like, she made a comment about, "Oh, Cameron, you're so beautiful, but you could still have blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
That would make it better." I was like, okay, do we have to? Every time I see them, they're always like, blonde hair. And so my sister, my mom, and my grandma are always like, "You looked better with blonde hair." So I said to my sister, I was like, "Y'all are so ugly for that. Why do all three of you always have to say that I looked better with blonde hair? Like, it's just so rude." And she got mad at me. She's like, "You have to stop saying you're so ugly for that." And I was like, "It's just a saying." Yeah. And she's like, "You can't." She's like, "Stop it." And I was like, "Okay, well, my bad." That's
weird. Anyway, after Walker Scobell, I would want to see
Taylor Swift
and then Daniel Radcliffe. I don't think Radcliffe's happening. That reminds me of when people were like, Tom Cruise is in Multiverse of Madness.
I just don't want people to be mean to Daniel Radcliffe, because I think that he's a precious being. And
who would be mean to him?
I don't know. He comes on screen, and if people don't like his representation of whatever character he is, they'll get mad at him. People are mean on the internet. You don't like.
I know they are, and they can go fuck themselves.
I just love Daniel Radcliffe.
Anyone who like genuinely gets so offended by things and like attacks other creators or people for just being in a movie is a piece of shit.
I also think a lot of people would get mad if Taylor Swift was in the movie, because
they can't handle her power.
Some men, some men, and some women.
No, it's the same people who would be like,
don't like Taylor Swift.
It's the same crowd that's like,
Stranger Things is so bad. It's a kid show.
Yeah.
Like that crowd of people.
Yeah.
The same people that would be like, yeah, Taylor Swift can't be in this movie. It's ruining the movie.
Like,
she's
okay,
not a real musician.
Then don't see it. I'm not allowed to tell you.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sure you're going to die happy, right? No, you're going to die alone for being so miserable anyway.
Did you see the rumor that Taylor Swift is dating that football player?
Travis Kelce, I did, yeah.
Thoughts?
There's a new rumor about who she's dating all the time. I don't believe any of it.
That's not true.
Yeah,
we haven't gotten a rumor since Maddie Healy.
And then like Joe Keery was at her apartment or whatever. Like
no, Joe Keery was at the recording studio with her.
Either way,
that's different.
I know. It's just like I think people like to read too deep into the fact that she's in a headline with someone. Like, people love to strap.
I think she needs to date a guy that plays sports.
Why?
I think she needs a break from
Travis
men.
Kelce?
She needs a break from men who do music or acting, because those men tend to be dramatic for her. I think she needs a guy that's just he does his sports and he goes home and that's it.
And then he's got his podcast with his brother.
He seems like a sweet, sweet boy. I like him.
I like Travis. Kelsey.
I think he went to the Eras tour and he made a friendship bracelet with his number on it,
That's funny.
trying to give it to Taylor.
That's funny.
So good for him.
Yeah. I wouldn't mind if he showed up in Deadpool 3. I mean, I don't care who shows up in this movie. I just want pretty much any cool cameo ever.
Yeah.
What upsets me is we're not going to get Cable or Domino, but that's a topic for another time. Deadpool 3, I think... Okay, here's the question, and then we'll move on to the last topic. Deadpool 3, do you think it'll be that No Way Home effect or that Multiverse of Madness effect? And what I mean by that is Multiverse of Madness, the hype and theories were real. They gave us some stuff, but the movie itself was eh. No Way Home, hype and theories were real. It delivered and then some.
I think I have not seen a movie with Ryan Reynolds in it that is bad. And I say
valid take.
because I haven't seen Green
Don't
Lantern
go there.
or...
That's it. I don't want to talk about anything else that's bad.
I don't think I saw that one. What's the one movie where he's a really bad version of Deadpool? Wolverine movie. Which one is it?
I don't want to puke, so just move on.
I haven't seen any movie that he's bad.
They know, and I know. I don't want to say the title of the
I haven't
film.
seen those movies. But I just think it'd be really hard.
Wolverine.
It'd be really hard to make a movie with Ryan Reynolds in it and make it a bad movie.
Today, yes. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, topic
Today.
for another time. Oh, I almost took the damn mic out. But today,
In this day and age.
with the creative talent attached to the film, with Hugh Jackman coming back as Wolverine, I think that there's like a 90% chance this movie's amazing.
I'd give it 95.
Yeah, more like 95, realistically.
I just enjoyed Deadpool so much.
Yeah.
So they could really do anything with the movie. But if Ryan Reynolds is being Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool, I'm chill.
Then I'm sad.
I'm having a fun time.
I'm sad. I mean, the set picks we've seen, this movie's going to be amazing. And, like, it's scheduled to come out in May of next year.
Not happening.
Pretty much everything's going to get delayed. And I think we're going to get, like, a historic day, like the day the music died. It'll be the day the movies died, where, like, they come out and say, hey, like, everything's delayed indefinitely. It's going to be super brutal and sad and unfortunate.
When is Thunderbolts supposed to come out?
Christmas 24?
Yeah, it's not happening.
No shot. Nothing is coming out, like, and the studios are so stupid. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah,
But
it's a lot.
Morons. Anyway.
Yeah.
We will be in a dead period of movies, and at that point, I don't know what I might just deep dive into, like, older stuff. But
Yeah.
those are things we cross that bridge when we get there.
Yeah.
Safe to say, Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool, all-time great comic book movie casting.
Yeah.
You agree?
Yeah.
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 So what are we going to talk about now? Some all-time great, not all-time great, the best comic book movie castings of all time, in our opinions. Superhero mainly, not villain. We can honorable mention some villains. Heath Ledger's Joker. Come on.
Yeah.
Obviously. But a hero. And I think we should do this where we say it at the same time. The actor and then the role. The best.
Not at the same time.
Okay,
That'll
fine.
get confusing.
Fine.
Because what if I want to
fine.
clip it?
Before we say this, guess in the comments down below who Cam's going to say and who I'm going to say. And I'll go
Think
first.
about us as human beings and what we are.
Yeah. Specifically, the best comic book movie casting of all time. That's what we're going with here?
Yeah.
Or should we call it superhero? For your clip purposes.
Superhero.
Okay. The best superhero castings of all time. More so, the best superhero casting of all time, because we're talking one, and then we'll do some honorable mentions. I'm going to just say mine. You guys have probably already typed it out in the comments down below. By the way, hit the like button if you're watching. But it's 3, 2, 1. Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man is the best superhero casting of all time. The man was born to play this role. I feel like it's just effortless for him. He showed up on set and was like, yeah, let's run it.
Yeah.
And he's kind of Tony Stark in real life, like his personality.
Yeah.
So it just fits. It fits the bill. He is the best. I can't picture anyone in the world playing Tony Stark other than Iron Man. I thought about all the other OG Avengers, and I thought of replacements.
Yeah.
I can't do that with Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. He is the best superhero casting of all time, and that casting changed the entire course of the superhero movie genre, Marvel, and frankly, movie going as we know it.
Yeah.
Like, a butterfly effect would be, what if it was someone else and the movie flopped? Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
He's the GOAT superhero casting. No, there's no room for debate. None. It is a fact, but I'd be open to hearing your opinions in the comments. Cam, I'm going to toss the ball over to you.
Mine's a little tricky because you said you can't imagine anybody else playing Iron Man.
Can't.
And we haven't seen that.
And we might never.
And we probably never will. My pick for best superhero casting of all time is Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. Mine's tricky because we've seen other representations of Spider-Man live action, animated. game-wise, we've seen lots of them. And
to your point, though, he's probably the best of those.
I'm going to borrow a quote from Pretty Much It.
Please.
One of my favorite YouTube channels ever. You guys know I talk about them all the time. Toby and Tom are fantastic and, no pun intended, amazing Spider-Men. Great actors, phenomenal in the role, right? They are people who got hired to do a job and they got paid to do this job and they did the job great. Andrew Garfield was simply just born to be Spider-Man and happened to get hired for the job. Like, he just is Spider-Man. One video that will always make me cry is the video of him at Comic-Con where he's like standing in line to ask a question and then he rips his mask off and then he has this little speech. Every time it gets me bad. He is just Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
There's no feeling equal to how I felt in No Way Home watching him come out of that portal and just be Spider-Man again. Like, it meant everything to me, and he's just perfect and he's just phenomenal. And you can take away your personal thoughts and feelings on his movies, regardless of how you feel about them, if you love them, if you hate them. Take away your personal feelings, take away your personal gripes with his films, and just look at him as Spider-Man and as Peter Parker. He's perfect.
Fair enough. I think he's the best Spider-Man and the best Peter Parker right now.
I agree.
And I've gone like through 3 eras of thinking it's one or the other, but after our like just time of watching these movies over and over, he's the outright best to me. So I agree with the take.
The best.
Yeah, I agree with the take. He's definitely a top tier comic book movie casting. The thing is, he did follow up Toby, and then someone came after him, so it's hard. It's hard, but you have the comparison there. He is probably the best of those 3.
It's definitely hard because it's rare that we see a superhero character get portrayed so many times over and over again to the point where there's just so many to compare. I think the only other time we've seen so many, at least that are like relevant would be Batman. Because like obviously we've seen a couple of Supermans, but not everybody in the world has seen the old Superman movies. You know what I mean?
I'd tread lightly with that because a lot of people
not
have.
Everybody in the world, I'm saying. Like the old ones? No.
Yeah, probably. I haven't, which I am ashamed to admit, but like those movies were like some of the best comic book films of all time. So I know what you mean, though.
Very average.
But there've only been it's Christopher Reeves and then Henry Cavill, like in cinema.
Yeah, that's what
it.
I'm saying.
And then the Brandon Ruth, I believe. But yeah, it's like no, Batman and Spider-Man are the 2 where there have been huge mainstream movies like for consistent, decades.
Yeah.
Period of time, I should say. So yeah, I see what you're saying.
I'd say, who's the first guy that Christian Bale? Christian Bale is to Tobey Maguire as Robert Pattinson is to Andrew Garfield.
Maybe.
That's my way of saying that I think Robert Pattinson's better than Christian Bale.
Yeah, for sure. Fair.
Which is like a crazy thing to say. I know a lot of people really like Christian Bale. I like Christian Bale.
Pattinson's the better Batman. Easily.
But is he the better Bruce Wayne?
That's the thing.
We don't know.
Well, that's the thing. People have already jumped to the conclusion of he stinks as Bruce Wayne. I'm talking about Pattinson. Pattinson stinks as Bruce Wayne because he's an emo boy who's all punk rock.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were getting up.
No, it's just
and it's just like frustrating because he is a very good Bruce Wayne, and we see him at a very young stage as Batman, and he's trying to. He frankly hasn't had to really differentiate Batman and Bruce Wayne just yet. That's why we're getting a trilogy, and in the next movie, he'll probably develop some of that playboy persona so that he can differentiate the 2, which I'm very pumped for.
How exciting for me personally.
But this is a younger, early-stage Batman. I think a lot of people... I don't want to say that. I don't want to sound pretentious. I think a lot of people just accept that.
They don't get it. They don't get it, do they?
I don't like to say stuff like that. They just don't accept it, So, and that's okay. Personal preference is for different people. Obviously, Bale is a damn model walking around with like 10 girls on his side driving Lambos and stuff, and that just would not have fit the vibe of this specific Batman movie. In part 2 and 3 I could see that start to develop more.
Right.
There's a vision from Matt Reeves, so I think a lot of people who are maybe on the fence or iffy on the Batman will appreciate it and like it more once we see the full vision of the trilogy. Kind of like how I am with like Dune 1. Like if I see the next ones and like it, then I think I'll like Dune 1 more than.
That's fair.
Some other honorable mentions, though, for iconic superhero castings. I would have to say in the TV world.
Don't you dare take mine. Don't you do it.
John Bernthal is the
Oh,
Punisher.
okay.
But go ahead and say the one you're going to say. I know
Charlie
you're
Cox is
yeah,
Daredevil.
Yes. It's like a 1-2 punch to me. You got to have them both.
Nobody could ever play Daredevil like Charlie Cox. And I know someone has tried.
And he tried at Batman, too. He was better at Batman.
Yeah.
We're talking Ben Affleck, baby.
Significantly. And just nobody else can play.
Probably helps that he was working with better scripts and stuff, but anyway.
It doesn't matter. Nobody can be Daredevil like Charlie Cox is Daredevil, and even Marvel knows that because they've hired him again.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't.
Fair.
You literally cannot outdo the doer, and the doer is Charlie Cox.
And I say the same for John Bernthal. There have been other iterations of Punisher. None hold a candle to Bernthal, the way that he can yell, Russo! And just have that look about him. Their scenes together, especially in Daredevil Season 2, chills every time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to mention some non-superheroes, and I think the best superhero movie casting of all time, J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson, undisputed GOAT.
Yeah.
And it's the same situation where Marvel was like, we have to bring him back. So they brought him into the MCU from the Tobey trilogy. Just the way that he delivers those lines, chaos and calamity ensue. Like, I want pictures of Spider-Man, damn it. How can you not love him?
I agree.
And then I was going to throw a bone to someone for you if you weren't going to mention it because I didn't want you to forget. Emma Stone as Gwen.
I was
About to say that?
Just about to mention two selfish ones for myself.
And Haley as Gwen?
Nope.
Okay.
Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy.
Yes.
Nobody.
I agree with you. No one
will ever touch her. She's just
performance,
all the way up here.
Yeah.
Nobody will ever touch Emma Stone in that role ever. For me personally, and I think in general, she's just
Haley's so good though, but it's
she's
different.
Perfect. It's very different.
Medium.
Very different when you're Gwen Stacy human,
Mm-hmm.
versus Gwen Stacy spider person.
Yeah.
They're very, very different types of people, even though I know they're the same person. Like it's a different vibe because one has a lot of trauma and stuff and the other doesn't. Well, they do, but it's different.
And right before you go to the next one, I want to say something.
Go ahead.
You're about to go to the next one?
My point's pretty much done.
Okay, cool.
Emma Stone's just a perfect human
She
being.
is. Comment down below who she's about to say because I know, and you guys should too. Go ahead.
Sebastian Stan is Bucky Barnes.
Yeah. If it wasn't, that would have been embarrassing.
I know I'm biased, okay? I know I'm very biased. I'm looking at a wall, a mural, a shrine of Bucky Barnes on my wall right now.
It's true.
I know I'm biased, okay? But if you'll walk with me, hear me out. Nobody could ever do Bucky Barnes in the way that Sebastian Stan does. And I have a few points that I'll make very quickly. Number one, when he is the Winter Soldier, mask or no mask, part of that role is acting with your eyes. He's not given lines, nothing. He's in so much of the MCU with like 14 lines before the Falcon Winter Soldier. Like he barely talks. I remember being nervous before the first episode of the Falcon Winter Soldier because I was like, Bucky has lines now. What's he going to do? What are they going to have him say? What if they get his personality wrong?
Yeah.
They didn't, though. They got his personality perfect and everything was fine. But a lot of the Winter Soldier acting is in his eyes. And if you're somebody who's just a casual watcher of the movies and you don't really care about Bucky Barnes and you're not focusing on him, you're going to miss a lot of it. And I feel like that might have been how you were before we started dating and then I started liking Bucky Barnes because then I've made you watch the movies. And I'm like, Chris, look at Bucky's face. And Sebastian Stan is a fantastic eye actor. Like he will give you 10 emotions with just his face. And I think that that's a very, very difficult thing to do. That's why I think Sebastian Stan is such a talented actor. And just nobody can make so many people care about the character of Bucky in the way that he did when he had such little to work with. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic.
Fair.
And he's just great. And he looks exactly like Bucky in the comics. Uh-huh. Like you could sit there and try and be like, no, like Ben Barnes could play Bucky, or trying to think of some other tall, dark, handsome man in Hollywood. You can sit there and try and tell me that you think somebody else could play Bucky Barnes, but they couldn't.
You don't have faith in Liam Hemsworth to pull off that role?
Never in a
I'm totally kidding.
Years.
Totally kidding for those watching at home.
Never in a bajillion trillion years.
Fair. He's damn good in the role. Now, I just thought of an idea to round out the show.
Go ahead.
All right. It's going to be sort of a speed round thing. I am going to list an actor and who they played just off the top of my head, and we'll do like 10 or so, and you tell me if you can see
Another actor.
Another actor playing that role better.
Right. Gotcha.
Do you like that idea? Mm-hmm. All right. I kind of looked around the room for inspiration while you're on your Bucky spiel.
All right.
You ready?
All right.
All right. Here we go. Starting out. Tom Hiddleston is Loki.
Pass. I don't think anybody else could do that role either.
I don't think anyone could.
No.
That's why I brought it up. Chris Evans is Captain America.
John Krasinski.
I got one. Actually,
John Krasinski was almost Captain America.
I could see Chris Pine doing it possibly.
Oh, yeah.
Possibly.
For sure.
He could also do Tony, but I didn't want to like belittle my own pick. He could totally do Tony.
Yeah.
But it just wouldn't be the same.
I'm sure there's others
No, yeah.
others that I'm thinking of
Fair.
that could easily do.
I think
Captain
Krasinski,
America.
he's a good pick.
Yeah.
Hemsworth is Thor.
It's hard to say. I don't know.
I personally don't think anyone else could because of
think so
his
either.
comedic timing. Like, people can hate on Love and Thunder. I do, trust me. But
That's not
like
his fault.
especially like Ragnarok and Endgame, like some of his delivery. Infinity War, he's probably at his funniest and also his
Even
lowest.
when he's not, even in like Thor,
Even in Thor,
the Dark World, like even in the movies
The
that are
OG
dark,
Avengers.
that are dark and sad, and
Yeah.
the Avengers and Age of Ultron, like even the movies that
funny.
are dark and sad and dull,
Yeah.
he's still super funny.
Valid.
Like the way he just hangs Mjolnir on the coat rack.
Yeah.
He's just funny. Mm-hmm. He's a very funny man, and I, off the top of my head, cannot really think of anybody else being Thor. Mostly because I can't really picture anybody else that could get to like the size of Chris Hemsworth. Like maybe Henry Cavill when he was like in his
maybe,
Witcher
maybe.
size. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm thinking Henry Cavill in the Witcher wig as well.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's like if I had to pick somebody else to play Thor.
Yeah, fair.
He's got the accent a little
Fair.
bit.
All right. Clint Barton, Hawkeye.
Jensen Ackles.
I think pretty much any dude in Hollywood could do that. Colin Farrell.
My
I mean, like,
my thing with Jeremy Renner as Hawkeye, if you guys know me, deep cut, if you know me really well, you know I'm in this friend group called Clint Stinks, and we like to rag on Clint all the time and rag on Jeremy Renner all the time. But realistically, like I do think Clint is a very funny character, and Jeremy Renner does have good comedic timing when he's given it. However, if we're talking about like best comic book casting, and we're looking at them in the comics, Jeremy Renner looks nothing like Hawkeye in the comics. And Hawkeye is way funnier in the comics. They don't do Hawkeye justice in the movies. So they could easily cast maybe just anybody else as Hawkeye and then just do Hawkeye accurately. And
Fair.
then there you go.
Fair enough. I mean, I think there's a plethora of dudes who could do it just as good, if not better.
It's embarrassing that Haley Steinfeld did Hawkeye better instantly.
Yeah. Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson. I have one that could do better. I have one that I think could do better, but she's still fantastic.
I love ScarJo.
Me
And
too.
she's great. But quite honestly, like any really talented actress that can also be very like sultry and sexy could do Black Widow.
Emily Blunt, Devil Wears Prada era.
Word.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Word.
Exactly.
Speak it.
Exactly. Tell me I'm
Speak
wrong.
on it.
Yeah, tell me I'm wrong.
Anne Hathaway
I would, yeah,
could
no
do Black
lie.
Widow. That's what I'm saying. Like Scarlett Johansson
She was Catwoman.
is an amazing actress.
Yeah.
So all you need to do is find another very talented, amazing actress who can also be that, like I said, sort of sultry, like sexy spy, like, and like be funny at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have any you want to throw off the top of your head?
Falcon.
I was actually thinking about asking that. You know, I don't know because I think Mackie plays it so damn well. Like he's got that.
So funny.
he's so funny. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else could play Falcon as well as him.
Here's
To
the thing.
even think of someone to fill in that role, I actually don't know.
Literally
I think
no.
he's
And
grown into it so well.
You could maybe try and find somebody else to play Falcon, and you can try and find somebody else to play Bucky, but any actor that you find to play those two characters,
Yeah.
they would never have the insane chemistry that Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan have that make Bucky and Falcon, Bucky and Captain America the way that they are. Mm-hmm. You can't write that. You
No,
can't force
can't do
that.
it.
You can't create it. That's just them.
Yep.
And that elevates their characters so much.
I agree. Now, kind of rounding out the whole video, I'm going to give my Mount Rushmore of irreplaceable comic book movie roles.
Go for it.
Number 1, Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man. Number 2, Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. Number 3, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Number 4, that's tough. Those 3 are really good. The 4th one's difficult. I think I got to just go J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that's like not a superhero, but in comic book movies, I think those are the 4 irreplaceable to me. Like I couldn't see another human being play any of the characters I just listed.
If I were to give you my Mount Rushmore, unbiased, so not throwing my favorites in there, not throwing Bucky in there, not throwing Emma Stone as
This
Gwen
is
in there.
irreplaceable, so you can't see anyone else playing the role.
Cannot see anybody else playing the role.
Correct.
I also give it to Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
Okay.
I also give it to Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I'm going to give it to, well, this is just comic book. So in general or superhero?
Yeah, in general.
Okay, so just comic book, Heath Ledger as Joker.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't.
Frankly, he should have been on my list.
And then, you're right, 4th one's a little tricky.
4th one's always tricky on a Mount Rushmore, baby.
Because, like, I want to say Andrew because that was my pick, but, like, obviously I can
Damn.
see somebody else playing it because other people have played it. So
Damn near Hiddleston as Loki. Damn near.
Yeah. You know the video of Tom Hiddleston as Loki showing up to the con in the full outfit and the wig and everything, and he's, like, in character?
Mm-hmm.
The way that Tom Hiddleston is just so violently opposite of what Loki is just shows how good of an actor he is. And he just, when he's Loki, it's like, wow.
Fair.
Wow.
Fair.
You know?
Yep.
I just can't see anybody else doing that.
No. Can't.
Yeah. Tom Hiddleston, I'll put him as my 4th, honestly.
Fair enough. Fair. So that kind of rounds out a fun little quick hitter episode.
That was fun.
Spontaneous, honestly. I didn't have that written down. I just kind of turned into some made up games at the end. And that was a fun time.
Good work, team.
Yes. Slay.
Now we're going to wrap this up. Teen Wolf after dinner?
Yes.
How exciting.
With pretzel M&Ms. By the way, I want to know what the best M&M is. I think it's pretzel, peanut butter, original, and I like peanut, like straight up peanut, but I just don't have it as much. Those have to be the 4 best. There's like caramel, there's a mint one, there's like a coconut one. Yeah, what are we doing? Keep it simple. Peanut butter, peanut, pretzel, original.
Pretzels for sure.
There's also
best.
dark chocolate, not bad.
I love dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate's pretty solid.
I'm a big dark chocolate fan
Yeah.
ever since I realized that milk chocolate isn't the best for your skin.
Fair.
And I think dark chocolate tastes delicious.
It's very good. Very yummy.
Delicious.
So I want to say this real quick. If you guys are listening, because I've noticed there have been a lot of listeners, like over 100 listeners on like
Shit.
Spotify and everything.
Hey, guys.
Be sure to leave us a nice review over there. You know, type something out, leave us a star review.
I
It
hope
helps out a lot.
You're enjoying this wherever you're driving to.
Yeah, for sure.
Or if you're working out or whatever. When else would you just listen to the audio of a podcast?
Maybe while you're like multitasking.
Are you cleaning your room
Yeah.
right now? What are you doing? Let
Cooking,
us know. Is
cleaning.
there any way for them to let us know?
Yeah.
Say it out loud. We'll hear you.
Yeah, we'll hear you. But yeah, and if you're watching on YouTube, hit the like button, comment down below some irreplaceable comic book movie roles, comment down below the best comic book castings of all time, your thoughts on the Deadpool 3 news, your thoughts on Teen Wolf, anything, any topic suggestions,
Let me
we're all
know
ears.
if you guys want an episode where it's just me talking about Bucky for a solid
People
hour.
have clamored for that. So you have at it. We'll get you a nice little corner. You can get some black
One day,
eyeshadow and
whenever
get all
you're-
emo and
next
depressed.
time you go to like just a place like to your grandpa or to Trevor or wherever you go and you're not here, I'll do it that week.
Okay.
It'll be our lowest viewed episode.
Oh, no. You could make a really good thumbnail. You could get in full cosplay. Full ass Javert cosplay.
I haven't gotten into cosplay in a long time.
Oh, man. Okay, cool. So, sorry. I got some Twitter notifications. There's something about the Marvels. New poster in IMAX.
Ooh.
Yeah. And something about the Exorcist Believer, a save the date. So,
Okay, well,
exciting stuff. But regardless, you haven't cosplayed in a minute.
I'm not.
Will you cosplay again?
Will you wear wigs? When will you wear wigs? Isn't it crazy that they were not in the same room for that interview?
Yes, very.
Learned that recently.
Yeah, crazy stuff.
From Dom himself.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know what we're talking
How's
about.
how's
The
his
Lord of
last
the
name
Rings.
pronounced again?
Dominic Monaghan.
You'll never forget, will you?
No, I was pronouncing his last name wrong for a really long time. Literally while we were filming the vlog for when we met them, and Chris just like didn't feel like correcting me until the day after. He's like, you know his last name is not pronounced like that? I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? You let me walk around calling him that all day.
Yeah,
And I know the first time I said it in your head, you were like, she's pronouncing it wrong.
I just didn't
And
want to offend you. Because you get really offended when I correct you sometimes.
Not when it's like that.
Okay.
I get mad when you try to correct me and I wasn't wrong.
Okay. Fair.
Or I get mad when you try to correct me and I already knew that I was wrong and I didn't need the correction.
Yeah. Regardless, I don't think they really care.
After the third time, you should have said something.
I
Anyways,
should have. It's on me.
thank you guys for watching this episode of the podcast.
Like.
Like Chris said,
comment.
Give us reviews. Give us 5 stars. If you're watching it on YouTube, comment down below what your favorite comic book casting of all time is, what you think the best one is. We love you guys. We will catch you next week. But until then, stay unusual.
Yeah. Just like that. Just weird.
Just like shoot yourself in the head.